was top 5 books.
Well, certainly the most important book in my life has been Crime and Punishment. I mean, that book.
Yeah, we're doing fictional books here, not nonfiction.
Okay, that has really changed my life, and when I say that, I mean it literally changed everything. I love Shakespeare, and I have to. You can't pick a Shakespeare play, but I have to say, if I had to pick the trilogy of King Lear, Hamlet, and Macbeth, I think almost everything. I think almost everything in life is in those plays.
If you have to pick one of those 3, though.
Well,
right now I'm torturing you.
I think that King Lear is the Sistine Chapel of literature.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Yeah, and so when I was a young man, I would have said Hamlet. As an older man, I say King Lear. What I love about Macbeth, though, is I love. Woody Allen has this thesis that there's no moral universe because some people don't see it. So he makes these pictures like Match Point and crimes and misdemeanors, and which a guy does evil things but has no conscience about it, so everything's fine. You just realize, there are people who can't see colors either, but there are such things, colors, yeah. And what I love about Macbeth is basically Shakespeare says, yeah, you can do all this stuff. God's not going to stop you from doing all this stuff, but at the end, your life will be meaningless. And that's such a powerful, thing to see acted out that I just love watching that play, as grim as it is. They've never done a good movie of it.
Throne of Blood is pretty good.
Throne of Blood is good, but it's not Shakespeare.
It's not the Shakespeare,
yeah.
But the plot is good.
Right. What else? I love, now I freeze up, but one of my favorite novels, I'm a big Henry James fan. A lot of people have gone
You've
past
recommended it to me, and I'm trying it, I'm working it.
The Ambassadors.
I know.
It's a really hard book. It's not a happy
hard.
book. Yeah.
It's hard. It's been on my nightstand for at least a year.
Yeah.
And at some point.
Have you read Portrait of a Lady?
I don't think so.
If you read Portrait of a Lady and maybe a couple of other things like his short stuff, like the Turn of the Screw, the greatest ghost story ever written, and you get used to his prose, because his prose is like reading German. It just goes on, and then you finally get to the last sentence, the last word, and you think like, oh, I get that sentence now. Yeah. But The Ambassador is a very, very subtle book. It also changed the way I look at life. Certainly War and Peace is as entertaining. I don't know. You maybe
would you take War and Peace over Anna Karenina?
I would. My wife takes Anna Karenina, so I trust her that they may be just as good as each other. But I loved War and Peace. You kind of have to skim over the philosophy, like why are you bothering me in the middle of this? In the middle of this. And, I can't leave out Dickens. Dickens is, to me, just a master among masters, and David Copperfield is just a great, great book.
I think Christmas Carol is still the best thing he ever wrote.
The Christmas Carol,
it's the best thing he ever wrote.
You almost can't attribute that to Dickens. It was like written by God. He got hit by lightning. It's so great. It is so great.
Well, it just shows what would have happened if he had an editor the whole time.
Yeah, you ate the long book. But I
love long books. Dickens,
really?
Bleak House is just too much for me.
That's my second favorite.
Really?
Yes.
You also, you're the kind of guy who likes to read British books and you actually laugh out loud at books.
Yes, that's true.
It's very difficult for me to read a book and laugh out loud at it. It's like, I'm reading it like, oh, that's droll.
Yeah.
That's droll. You lived in London too long, so for you, droll is like laugh out loud funny.
We have to mention Jane Austen because her movies are so girly.
Yeah.
And her books are so good. And I always feel like,
she's harsh on women in a way no man could get away with.
So
I mean, you read Emma, and she's like, women are just the worst. You're like, how did she get away with this? Because she's a woman.
She's a great genius. She was maybe one of the last. You read that.
Although Twain's review of her books is.
Yeah, her and
dig her up and beat her to death again with her own jawbone.
But there's so many great novels. Novels have meant so much to me in my life that it's really hard to.
We'll have to make you do a list of them for the site at some point.
Yeah, and I love all those hard, tough guy mysteries. Raymond Chandler shaped my life. The Maltese Falcon, unbelievably great.